Think about the opportunities that you have right now, and if they're not there, how you can make them. Hello, I'm Sarah Moore. I am a partner at PricewaterhouseCoopers at PWC. I'm here in glorious southeast London in lockdown, and I've been with PWC for about 20 years. I studied drama and English and very much wanted to tread the boards when I was growing up, and I find myself as a partner at PWC. So there's been a fairly windy route to get to where I am right now, which I'm very happy to share more about. So PwC is quite varied. So often people feel that we're just accountants. Of course, there's never just an accountant, but we have, there's about 22,000 of us here in the UK, but we're an organisation of over kind of 200,000 globally, and we offer services around auditing, risk assurance, deals, so mergers and transactions, valuations around those, helping organisations buy and sell business and kind of operationally go about that business. A partner is someone that owns part of the firm. So we've got about, in the UK, we've got around about 860 partners at the moment. And we have got accountability for running the firm with the rest of our teams, our directors and other grades, and bringing in, clients into our organisation and, keeping it ticking over. Relationship skills have been the absolute key for me, and the big thing that I took for granted. Every kind of bit of year-end feedback kind of says, oh, Sarah's got great enthusiasm, uses humour. And I would think, well, that's just being, lively and telling jokes. And I didn't value it. But actually, if you put it in a business context, I think having a good sense of humour, or actually being someone that can bring levity to a situation or relax people when you're in an environment is really crucial. And I work with a lot of people that don't have very sharp social skills, let's put it that way. So I think thinking about how you can be someone who is curious, interested in others, look for the opportunity to meet new people and make an impression. So I always think with every interaction I have with someone now, I might think, what do I want them to think of me when I've left the room? How do I want to come across? And is there something that I want to be a follow-on from that? Maybe it's a relationship that I want to keep, a new connection, someone who's quite interesting to me, someone who might be doing something new from a technology perspective that I think actually my clients might be interested in that. So I think whatever circle of life, even when I was working in the sweet shop, and you had a through route of so many people kind of coming through that door, you don't know who you're meeting. So leave a really good impression. Be interested and curious and listen. How can you be helpful? What value can you bring to them, and what insight can you bring to them? So these are the things that I think people can be doing now. I also think it's helpful to think about your network and who do you know. And if at the stage that people are in life, they've got an idea of maybe the field or the industry they want to go into, do some research around it, to do the legwork to find out, okay, well, who do I need to know? Or what extra experience would be helpful for me to have here? And spend some of this time while we were in lockdown doing more kind of research around that, or upskilling, so that you're a really good proposition when you're in front of someone. When I'm interviewing, it is the self-starters, the people that have really tried to make something out of the situation they're in, regardless of their background, that interest me. I want someone to work with that isn't, come on, impress me, take, what do you want me to do, passive. I want someone that's got lots of ideas and energy, and willingness to try something different and push it, and kind of keep pushing things to the next level. I mean, there's two things. I think there's the experience that they can articulate. So I would always say it's back to being prepared and doing that homework. What are the life experience that you've got that you could bring into an interview that might be valuable? So in my case, I worked in a sweet shop, I was a cleaner, and I drove a white van for a motor spares place. How can I show within that I've got great customer service, that I was really good at problem solving, that I can manage different personalities and flex my style within that, and I've got drive and commitment. So there's lots of stories that I can tell around that experience, or lots of examples that I can pull out of it and share. And I don't need to have been on the Duke of Edinburgh scheme or have interned at Merrill Lynch. I can bring other experiences from that, more humble beginnings, let's just say, but think about how I could present that. And I didn't have a clue how to do that when I was interviewed at PWC. So I definitely think that's something that people can do. But the second thing is around, what do you do in the here and now and in the moment? So are you meeting my eyes? Are we making a connection with each other? Are we building a rapport? Are you listening to the question that I'm asking you and giving me the answer to that, rather than something perhaps that you pre-rehearsed, or you're nervous and comes out in a babble, which is what I do when I'm nervous, a big stream of consciousness and don't stop. And you can practice that. No one's saying you've got to come in and be the most charismatic person on earth. But I think you can do a little bit of work around how can I bring the best of myself. And in the environment that we're in now, when you get to interview stage, so again, graduate programs, there's a huge amount that's online of application. But when you finally get to a point where you are interacting with someone, be it on screen, you can still pick up cues. We're having a Zoom conversation here, Charlie. We can still kind of pick up cues from each other and build a connection and a rapport. So really think about how we might do that. And I would try and avoid a phone call at all cost, because I always think if the video isn't there, you really lose part of that connection. So I'd make a call as the last resort. There was someone who told a great story about being at Glastonbury and kind of got lost en route and got separated from their group and couldn't find them again. And then, their mobile phone had died. And then kind of took me through, a load of inventive ways that they've used some ingenuity and thinking ahead and planning to try and reconnect, back up with the group. And I just thought that was a great story. And I also thought it showed real creativity and initiative in terms of, actually, I'm going to use this, because you then get a little bit of, well, what bands did you go and see? How many times have you been there? And we're just building a little bit of connection between each other in terms of something interesting that they're doing outside of work, and it's not necessarily in that corporate environment. I don't want to talk in cliches, but the world really is your oyster. I joined that place as someone that was doing the admin, and now I'm a part owner of the business, and I still pinch myself that was a journey that happened for me. And I think what would surprise people is you can walk into the firm and sure, it's got its kind of structures and processes, but you can have a great idea and someone will listen to that and make it happen. We have all sorts of kind of sandbox incubator type hubs where innovation goes in and we work on that, improve it, test and try it on clients, let other people work on that. And there's rewards for individuals who are creating that innovation. And that's at all levels. The advice that I would give to people starting out now is really back yourself and think about the opportunities that you have right now. And if they're not there, how you can make them. So who do you know that might be able to give you advice or support or guidance, or someone to practice with if you're looking for interview skills? And I would think for individuals that have had some kind of work experience already, what have they learned from that? And be kind of questioning around, what can I take away from that and use it going forward. And persistence, don't give up, keep trying. You might get a knockback, just keep going. I've applied during that period of lots and lots of different week jobs and Saturday jobs. I applied for so many of them, and you just have to keep going.